Welcome in, everyone. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Wow, there is a lag on my end. Hopefully I am live and everyone can drop me a comment if you can hear me. Interestingly enough, I don't know if it was my VPN connection that I just reset. There we go. I don't know what was going on. NordVPN is never going to sponsor this channel. Guys, I hope that you kept in mind the messaging that I shared with you on Tuesday that I wasn't going to be here yesterday, but I'm back today. Of course, we had the monthly close, and I want to assess the price action that came in to the higher time frame monthly close. Also wanted to take a look at the 2-month chart, because that's going to be a key chart to tell us also with a high degree of confidence what we can expect going into the end of the year. So we'll take a look at the 2-month that's set to close out in August, and I'll explain to you why August is setting up to be a really critical month in terms of having an understanding of the relative swiftness of some of the price action that I've been speaking to. But it never, excuse me, I have something caught in my throat. It never ceases to amaze me. I really wasn't super active on Twitter today. But it never ceases to amaze me the drama, and the drama is probably a really good word. The drama within the cryptoverse, and I think there's just, it's just something I very routinely speak to. Of course, I know none of my community is this way, but people really get caught up in this day-to-day volatility, and they really let it play with their emotions and chop themselves up inside. Whereas really what we need to be focused on are the higher time frame views. So I'm going to spend a moment talking about some of the price action that's come into the market. And then I don't really want to spend too much time on this because I really want us to focus, like I say in the gym, focus. I need us to focus on the higher time frame views. Okay, so this is the 12-hour. We've spoken about the 12-hour. The areas of support and resistance, price confluence are shown here. I've spent a great deal of time covering this with you guys. I'm not going to keep rehashing the same things. Not surprisingly, I guess 2 comments I would add here. We're finding support in this region. We've seen huge wicks. Look at this huge wick here. If we close out relatively where we're at right now, that's an extremely bullish candle. Not surprising to see this level of volatility expressed by the degree of wicks on this chart. It's kind of par for the course in the market. This is the daily. Yeah, we look fine. Again, the perspective you want to keep here is, are we ultimately forming a higher high and higher low? That's really what you want to ask the question of. So right now in the short-term price action looks fine. Again, I wouldn't really get too caught up on that, especially with sort of where we're at in the cycle and where we're at within the charts. And I've just spent so much time giving you a macro view in terms of what I see in the charts. I just really wouldn't get caught up in all the noise going on in the market. I mean, at one point today, let me see here. I know at one point today, Bitcoin was down like 2 or 3%. Let's look at the mid caps. Are they still? Some of these are still down. But even HBAR, or not HBAR, even HBAR is actually up. Even CASPA, I think CASPA was down close to 5%. It's down 2% right now. So again, this is just, again, being here for so long. I'm not being tone deaf in terms of what's going on in the market. I think I'm actually very in tune with the realities of the volatility that exists and the way that people get weeded out. You know, it's so easy. There are so many naive people who come into this market thinking, oh, I'm just going to, they look at a chart and they're like, oh, I'm going to know when to sell the top and, buy the bottom. And human emotions don't work that way. If you don't have concrete empirical data in front of you that is driving your buy and sell decisions, there's no way you're going to be successful in this market. So that's why I really want to focus on these high time frame charts. Let's get into the monthly, guys. This is where I want our focus to be. Track, welcome in. Really good to see you, my friend. I don't know, Track. I'm not worried about it. Who the hell cares if it fills or it doesn't? I guess maybe. I don't know. Like, but really, I don't, unless you're looking to day trade, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter if a $58,000 CME gap gets filled? Why does it matter? Like, this chart, that is not what we should be focused on. Not that I don't appreciate the question. I know we need something to keep us engaged in the market, right? The worst thing that we could do is get disengaged from the market and not pay attention to what's going on. So if some of this day-to-day stuff, Track, on the CME gap keeps you intrigued in the market, pay attention to it. I pay close to zero attention to it because what I'm hyper-focused on is, hey, I ask myself, look, I have financial goals for myself. I'm convicted in terms of achieving those goals, and my goals are predicated on my education and view of the market. And my education and view of the market are based on high time frame views. That's why I really want us to focus on this high time frame data. The only reason I spend so much time talking about a 12-hour chart on this channel is because, one, I live stream every day, all right, practically every day, all right? So when you're live streaming nearly every work day, you need something to talk about, right, which can be challenging sometimes. Two, there is a lot of historical significance in the 12-hour chart, which I've spoken about, but these high time frame charts are the key charts that 99% of you should be pretty much 95% focused on. 99% of you should be 95% focused on the high time frames. And if you're more focused on the high time frames, in my opinion, you're going to increase the likelihood of your success. So the first question I would ask you is, here's what I want to do. I want to actually redraw this line. I want to put this area of resistance right here. Now, why did I put the area of resistance here, right here? It's right on top of these bodies. So where did this close? 71,285, 71,285, 71,285. So the monthly chart is telling me right now the absolute most pivotal, critical area on Bitcoin from a high time frame view is 71,285. We're going to round it to keep it stupid simple, 71,300. Once you see a monthly close, okay, whether it's August, and we'll take a look at the 2-month chart, whether it's August or whether it's September, maybe it's not until November, okay? Once you see the monthly close occur at or above 71,300, first off, that's going to be the highest monthly close that we have ever had in the history of Bitcoin. Secondly, you are going to be clearing out a fuck ton of resistance. You're going to be clearing out all the resistance. Yes, there is a wick here that went up to 74,000, but that's immaterial. We have a body here, a wick here, a wick here. You get a close above 71,285. I'm trying to think of different ways I can communicate this. This, not invalidated. We've negated this, we've negated this, we've negated this, we've negated this. We're in brand new territory. We're in brand new territory. 71,285. So where did we close out the current month? Well, for the current month, I always get fucked up on these names of the candlesticks, so I don't want to... let me see here. Yeah, technically it would be. This is, so the shape of this candlestick, and this is kind of, I feel kind of split on this. I lean more, well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. This candlestick here looks more like a doji than a dragonfly doji. A dragonfly doji is a huge trend reversal to the upside. But for that to happen, you'd have to have a longer wick down here, a real short wick up here in the body. You have a thin body, but it's more towards the top. So this is a little bit more of a doji candle, but it's still bullish. We closed the month green, and it's still a bullish candle. Essentially, what this month is telling us is kind of telling us two things. The monthly close, just based on the price action, is telling us two things. One, there was, well, I guess three things. One, there was a lot of buy-side pressure that came in. Prices got driven all the way down here to 53,500 based on the length of the wick to the downside. The first thing this candle is telling us is that there was a lot more buy pressure to buy prices up versus sell pressure, okay? The second thing this is telling us is that we have maintained, okay, which is bullish. We have maintained price structure in this area, which is critical. Now, had we gotten a close below 61,000, it looks like 300 or 400, you're increasing the probability. Again, no certainties in charting, but you're increasing the probability you're going to be going lower here. You know, people are talking about 48 and 52. You're increasing the probability. But given that we have maintained prices on a closing basis within this range here, between the 71,300 and the, what is this again? 61,400. That's bullish. And the third thing that it's, the shape of this candlestick is telling you, since it's a doji, we're trying to find our bearings right now. We're trying to find our bearings. In August, you know, we're just going to consolidate and chip around more. Are we going to move up? Are we going to see some volatility to the downside here before closing up here? I will tell you this. For the month of August, I will give you one educated guess on how the month of August will look. While I do believe there's a fair reasonability to say, hey, we could go lower here, you're not going to close underneath 61,400. It's just not going to happen. So there's only really two main scenarios I'm considering for the month of August, unless if something significantly changes in the chart. One, we're going to close in this area. Man, I hate that you can't, the way TradingView works sometimes. One, we're going to either close in this area, right? We'll get another candle body close in between this 71.3 and 61.4, okay? Or the second scenario I see is breaking above this area of resistance here and closing at or above 71,300, in which case we'll have set new all-time highs this month, or you'd be looking for new all-time highs coming in as soon as September. Those are the only two scenarios I really see based on the way this monthly is shaping up. Now, if we take a look at our price indicators, RSI looks good. It's at 66. I want to fix this here. The RSI looks good at 66. I want to see this start heading towards 70, okay? I want to see this beginning to head towards 70. There we go. Right now, you can see we're just sort of flatlined at 65. 65, so from a relative strength or RSI reading, 66 actually is a bullish reading on the relative strength index. It's just historically, once you start pushing above that 70 level, that's when you really start to see these euphoric price action come into the market. Now, remember, as a reminder, why the hell is this still on here? As a reminder, MACD looks good, by the way. Stochastic RSI looks perfectly fine. As a reminder, I spelled out to you very recently, I think it was on the Sunday, when we did a weekly close on Sunday, I spelled out to you my relative expectations between now and when we top out. If you weren't here for that live stream on Sunday, make sure you catch that one. I thought that of any of the videos you would catch this week, that was probably the most value-added video, which now as I'm saying this out loud, people are like, well, why the hell am I even listening to this live stream, CBG? Because you're saying that was the most valuable live stream. Why am I here right now? Because I add value to your life every day, and you appreciate being here. I love you, and you love me. And if you love me, you would hit the thumbs up button. All right? No, but I gave you my expectations in terms of what I'm anticipating between now and then. And I don't know where I was going with that thought. Sometimes on the live stream, what I do is I talk and talk and talk, and then I go on a tangent to attempt to be funny, and I lose my place in this moment of time of what the hell I was trying to say. But you know what? I don't really think it's that important. The most important thing to realize is that the monthly did close bullish. It didn't close as bullish as it could have, okay? The most bullish thing it could have done, if I was making any sense to you, was to close at or above 71,300. It didn't do that. We're still waiting for that. But still, it's bullish because we're still in this price confluence here. 20 just crossed above the 50 simple moving average. How's the 10 looking? I don't even have the 10 here. 125. I'm just curious. How does I wonder if the 9 exponential moving average actually is, and it would be an interesting one to look at on here. Let's look at the 10 simple moving average. This is going to fuck me up because the color's different. I'm used to the 10 being blue. Oh, come on. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I don't know what's going on right now. Oh, there we go. It's right here. Okay, good. We're above the 10 too. One other moving average I want to take a look at on this chart. Let's take a look at the exponential moving average, the 9, which is a common one. It's set by a default. And you can see we're above the 9 exponential moving average as well. Again, how do I know to look at these things? I mean, they're just common moving averages that you become well acquainted with when you've been reading charts for a long time. So you can see historically, I mean, we just go back in time. Just look at 2020 into 21. When we held, you see how we're holding this 9? Let's take off these other moving averages for a moment. You see the blue line and how we're holding it here? We held it as support on a closing basis. Once we started to get a close below here, it was a warning sign. Of course, we did create a new all-time high here, but as I've said about 5,000 times on this channel, this was part of a corrective structure, and you can see once again we closed below it. Here, you can see back in 2016 and 17, we rode this up. Once we closed below the 9 exponential moving average, that's where it spelled trouble within the chart. So if we go to the current point in time, let's take a look at the 9 exponential moving average. You can see we are sitting pretty right now. We're well above the 9 exponential moving average. And again, this is another line of confluence that you can use. Again, it's a balancing act. You don't want to overcomplicate your life, but you also want to have, especially with such limited price data on Bitcoin, you want to have several key things that you can quickly go to see where price confluence exists. And I've commonly said this on this channel. The more charts that you can look at, where on chart A, B, and C, it all lines up within a relatively tight range, the more convicted you can feel in terms of your conclusions versus looking at one chart and saying, well, this is what's going to happen. That doesn't have as much credibility as looking at chart A, B, and C and them lining up within a range of price confluence. Hopefully that makes sense. So in this case, there's a piece of price confluence at 58,300. As long as we don't get a monthly close that's piercing below this line, it says we're fine. We could actually even close all the way down here at 58,300 or 400, and we'd still be fine. Not anticipating that, but we would still be fine. Now, keep in mind, one last thing before we move off of this chart onto a few other high time frame charts. I did not tell you on today's live stream, okay? You weren't paying attention if this is what you walked away with. I did not tell you on today's live stream that we couldn't hit 48 or 52,000. What I said is on a candle body closing basis, we're going to be either in between this range or above it by the end of the month. That is my prediction, okay? Do I think, if you ask me today, do I think we're going to hit 48 to 52? No, I don't think we're going to, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. I've been saying, how long have I been saying that now? But I've left it on the table, and I've always left it on the table, and I've provided you with qualifying conditions on when I would personally become less confident in terms of that not getting hit. And I told you really ultimately closing below 61.8. Again, 63.8 was the main area once we got out of this price range here. But it's all about the closing bodies. It's not about the price wicks. So, a common theme that we speak to very frequently on this channel. We don't care about the price wicks. The price wicks tell us a story, but in terms of the most important takeaways from a chart, it's really those candle bodies that you want to focus on. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at total, actually. There's nothing to update on Bitcoin dominance. No point in taking a look at that. What the hell was that? Not much going on here, guys. Not much going on here. Not much going on here. Yeah, I don't really know what to say on total. I mean, it's the same story as Bitcoin. Oh, it's funny. You talk about one thing, it brings you back 5 minutes later. Remember when I said I forgot what I was talking about? Now I remember what I was talking about. So in Sunday's live stream, this is what happens when you get old. Okay, guys, I know I'm young at heart. I'm 25 at heart, but I am far from 25. Very far from 25. Sometimes I'm reminded of that. I own my age, though. Someone asked me how old I was this morning, and I love when I say how old I am, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. And I'm fucking running circles around you in the gym. That's damn right. Anyway, getting back to the point that I was going to make, if you did not catch Sunday's video, make sure that you catch that. I think it's a very important video. But what I was also saying is one of the key takeaways that you should take from this monthly chart is we are literally doing, and I've been saying this for a while now, guys, we are literally doing one of the most fundamentally bullish things that you can do on any chart. We are literally consolidating right at all-time highs. Someone asked me the other day how someone could sell their Bitcoin from Coinbase. This was someone who wanted to get set up with just automatically investing a small amount into Bitcoin. I was like, sure, I'll help you set it up. And my response back, and this was a while, I think this was back in 2022. And my response when this person reached out to me and said it is, I'm sure he can figure it out. He's a smart guy. He'll be able to figure it out. But this is literally one of the most dumbest moments that you could be selling Bitcoin. Unless if he is hard pressed for money and he wasn't even investing much, it makes zero sense for him to sell right now. Like literally it would be one of the dumbest decisions in my opinion for you to sell your Bitcoin or your stronger performers, right? Maybe you're in a dead project. I can't speak to that. I won't name names. I've taken a shit on a project recently. We won't name names. But for the majority of the space, again, a rising tide lifts all boats. And we're at this point where I come out here every day, and it's more challenging than you think at times to come up with things to talk about when the market is the way that the market is. But everything that we've been assessing high time frame is telling us, hey, you have every reason to be bullish. We just can't pinpoint when that huge breakout's going to occur. We can't pinpoint when Bitcoin's going to have a blow-off top. We can't pinpoint the exact price level Bitcoin will reach. But you know what we do have? It's another plug for this video. We do have historical indicators that tell us with conviction when we have likely topped. So make sure you check out that video that I have pinned at CryptoBullGod on X to take a look at that. Not much to say on total. It's kind of mirroring a lot of what you're seeing in Bitcoin, which is not surprising given that Bitcoin and Ethereum make up predominantly what's going on in the market. Speaking of which, let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at Solana. And I've covered Kaspa ad nauseum. Kaspa is, pretty much in a blue sky breakout. So you're going to see Kaspa continue to run. There's no reason Kaspa won't continue to run extremely hard this month. It's also breaking out on the Bitcoin pairing. It's breaking out on the Ethereum pairing. And it's showing some relative strength on the Solana pairing, but it still has some work to do there. What is this? The monthly. This looks great. So the RSI is riding this moving average, which is interesting. One of the key moving averages that I put on here is the 15 exponential moving average. Very similar commentary to kind of what we covered on the 9 exponential moving average on the monthly for Bitcoin. You want to make sure that you have those candle body closing at or above that moving average line, and you can see. Once you start to close below it, it's not good. You can see we're well above it here. And that line's all the way down here at 2,800. So for us to start to get bearish on Ethereum would have to go below 2,800 and close there at the end of the month. That's not to say if Ethereum this month expressed some volatility and went all the way down here and then closed all the way up here, that would be extremely bullish, right? But if we started closing in this area here, that would be something unexpected that we would have to revisit. Again, we're objective on this channel. If something concretely changes on this chart, I'm just going to tell you what I see. But right now, this chart looks great. Nothing has changed about the bull pennant that I've spoken to. Price action just can't maintain above this 34.50 level. I mean, ultimately, what we want to see a close above 34.50 on the monthly, and then it's just a matter of time until we start breaking out towards all-time highs here. Again, my target for Ethereum, I have a pretty wide net on my price target for Ethereum, anywhere between 8 to 15, 8,000 to 15,000 is a top. So, again, again, history tells us, unless if something changes with history, history tells us that once Ethereum starts to run, it's going to be the dominant altcoin, and it's going to outperform most everything else for a period of time. And it's going to lift up the rest of the market. It's going to take your breath away, and it's going to be up at 6,000 plus very quickly. Let's take a look at Solana. Not much to say on the price indicators. Not a lot of price data. I mean, again, I just don't know how you can't. I don't know how you can't look at this chart and be bullish. Like, I just don't. How are you not bullish on this chart? It doesn't matter what your biases are in terms of what projects you're in love with, but the market structure in this chart is just beautiful. When would I be concerned with Solana? The only point I would be concerned at with Solana, I want to clean up some of this price confluence because it's getting a little too noisy for me personally. I don't know if the neat freak in me is coming out or what. We'll keep the 20 is too low. We're not going back to 20 bucks. We'll keep that. Okay, so again, for Solana here, what we would have to do to start to get bearish on Solana is get a monthly close below this line here. And the reason is because you got the body touch, the body touch, and the body touch, right? So we can wick below 125. Guys, I don't care if Solana is below 125. The chart's telling us, though, that as long as we close at or above 125, we're fine. And then you got this area of resistance right here. I mean, it's clear as day. You can see both the candle body touches here. It's at 204. It lines up with confluence. I mean, look at this. It's perfect. Look at this price confluence. 208 is the price. Once you start to see Solana at, what is the difference here? We're at 166. Wow. 208 divided by 166. We're 25% away from 208. And once you start to see Solana push above 208, you're going to be well into all-time high category. Now, the price range. I have been saying that I thought Ethereum, if I had to take a guess, would hit its all-time high before Solana. But you look at this chart, and you look at the Ethereum chart, I don't know. Solana might actually break out to its all-time high before Ethereum. We'll have to see. But monthly's looking beautiful, though. Again, it's similar concept. Notice what I'm doing on all of these charts. I'm creating a range of where price has stabilized, right? Bitcoin, we established a range. Solana, we've established a range. We've indicated where would we be concerned and where would we be excited. Where would we be excited on a candle body closing basis? So for Solana, we're excited once we see a monthly candle close at or above 208. We'd be extremely nervous if it closed below 125. Ethereum, really, the range is, should I be revisiting this range? Is it a different range? Let me see. Are we really weaker? Let's see. Okay. And again, it's important to always reevaluate charts. Okay, that's a good area. So we're maintaining a price region right in between 3,700 and 2,900. It's always good to revisit your main areas of price confluence as emerging data develops within the chart, which is what we just did right now. So this is really the main range that we're in. Okay, so Solana, we covered Solana, we covered Ethereum. Let's get into the 2-month chart. Talked about the 2-month chart and how important it's going to be, and we're going to talk about that right now. And then I'm going to get into definitely not charting Luna. And then I'll get into the comments that you guys have here. So sorry to switch it up today. We probably won't have time for TAQ, excuse me, just because I didn't live stream yesterday. Usually I would have done the monthly close yesterday, but didn't have the availability. So covering what I think is most important. So first, let's actually look at the price indicators. MACD looks good. Now, why does the MACD look good? Why is it looking good on the 2-month? I mean, it's pretty obvious. The MACD is increasing and the histogram is going up. So, I mean, that's really straightforward. If we look at the RSI, we're getting real close to pushing above 70. Again, we get a bullish month. You know, we close anywhere around 71,000 this month. I know I gave you an area of 71,285 or whatever the hell it is. Even if we close at 71,100, we close in that general vicinity, you're going to have the RSI above 70. It's going to be monumentally bullish. Look at the stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI looks great too. We're well above this 80 trigger line here. Okay, 80 and 20, right? 80 is where you really start to get into these super bullish territories. When you're below 20, that's really where things are depressed, right? So looking at price action, again, I believe there's a huge story being told on this chart. What is the story on the chart? The story is, if we look at the most recent 3 candles, okay? Again, higher conviction on a high time frame chart, okay? So on the high time frame chart, in this case the 2-month chart, we have a gravestone doji, which was the clear sign of a trend reversal. But what does a trend reversal actually mean? Well, a trend reversal, since this is a bearish candle, means we can anticipate in time, over the course of a time on the chart, we're going to have a trend reversal to the downside. It doesn't tell us how many candlesticks will result in that downtrend. It doesn't tell us how deep we will retrace, but it tells us with conviction that the likely direction for future price action is down. Well, we've had that downside volatility. So the question we have to ask ourselves when the 2-month candlestick closes is, we went up to 74. We said, nah, we're not, that's supposed to be an X, but this fucking trading view is not allowing me to draw an X. We got up to, I want to make my damn point. Where's there an X on here? Damn it. Damn you, trading view. You suck. Oh, this is perfect. We got up to here, and we were like, nah, right? Then what happened was price, although it got rejected at 74, it came all the way down here to 53,000, and we were like, we got that shit, all right? So the question we'll have to ask ourselves is, welcome in, Evan, I see you down there. The question we have to ask ourselves is the story that will print by the end of August telling us that the volatility essentially did this? We went from here down to here, and that was our volatility. This was our volatility, and this candlestick print for August is going to tell us, look, guys, we bottomed. We've bottomed. Yes, gravestone doji, a couple candlesticks ago, told us we will go down. We went down, but I'm here for the month of August to tell you, printing for the months of July and August, I'm here as this representative candlestick to tell you the downside is over. That's what this candlestick is going to tell us. It's going to say, hey, guys, it has the opportunity to tell us this downside is done, okay? If we can close anywhere relatively where we're at right now, the thicker, 2 things. One, the thicker, that's what she said. Oh. Mic drop. The thicker the green body is, the more bullish it is. And the other thing that would be sextacular would be to get a close above this red line here. This red line represents this high here at 69,000. So if we could get a close right up in this is telling me 69 to 70,000. The 2-month chart is telling me if we can get a close up here at 69 to 70,000, and we'll have a nice thick green body here. The trend reversal to the downside is over, guys. We've had the volatility between 74 and 53. We're ready for more upside. That's what it's telling us, okay? Not to mention if we close anywhere near where we're at right now, this is the highest monthly, 2-month close, recorded ever. Look, it's the highest 2-month close up here. This candlestick was the highest, and it closed at 62,700. So this would be the highest close. You know, something else just occurred to me as I was talking. There's also a 3-month chart that I don't think we've looked at in a long time. 3-month chart, the way you can think of it, is a quarterly chart. I don't know the last time we looked at this. God only knows. Well, this looks great. RSI is at 66. The stochastic RSI is very healthy. The MACD looks good. Yeah, and we're right in this zone. So not too much to say there. I would actually draw this right here now that we have more price data. So again, we're right in that. I would draw this right here. And I would make that green. Yeah, so we're right in this zone here. Where does the price confluence say here? 71,000. 71,500. So again, the 71,500 is an area of price confluence which lines up with 71,300. So this is what I was talking about earlier in the discussion, and from prior live streams we've covered this point. When you're going into high time frame charts and you're seeing several of the charts point to the same general vicinity for price, it should lead you to feeling more convicted that that is a key area, and once we reclaim it, okay, or claim it as an area of support on a candle body closing basis, it's going to significantly increase the likelihood that we're going to see a strong push up. Something that I may revisit, actually I don't want to go down that path. I'll save that for another live stream. So we'll have to see where the market closes today, but things are looking pretty peachy, guys. Keep in mind, we'll note how, and the way we're closing out today looks great. We still have 2 hours though, but keep in mind that, you know, when I'm talking about the month of August still has 30 days left. I think there's 31 days in August, or are there 30? I always confuse this month. It is 31. So we're literally only like 3%. We're 3% into the month, okay? Less than 3%. So we still have another 97% plus of the month to go. This is a very volatile market, as we all know. So let's just see how the month develops here. Let's see how the month develops, but things are looking sexy AF. Guys, who do we have in the live stream today? We're hitting 38 minutes. I didn't live stream yesterday, so I really wasn't as cognizant with time, really worried about it. Track and Raghorn. Buddy's about getting 24,000. Do you think that BTC has a good probability to get to 60? I don't know Raghorn, but if he's putting $24,000 into his Bitcoin IRA, or his IRA, there's a plug for Bitcoin IRA. If he's putting $24,000 worth of BTC in an IRA, he shouldn't care if he's buying at 65 or 61. Well, for two reasons. One, if he has any macro view that is similar to mine, and secondly, it's his retirement account. So, I mean, who the hell cares? I mean, we're talking like 5%. So I don't know, but it shouldn't matter. Don't overcomplicate things. Again, I reshared a post with you guys that I tweeted out back in March, and I traded almost 20 cents. I wanted to get it at 20 cents, but I couldn't initiate my sell in time. A 19-point-something cent Dogecoin for a 15-cent Kaspa. Was it the perfect swap? No, it wasn't. Caspa went down to, I think, 11 cents. I could have made a better swap. It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I recognized the opportunity that Doge was overheated, it was going to correct, and Caspa was undervalued. Now Caspa is sitting at 20 cents and Doge is at 11 cents. Okay, and it's only going to, that disparity in price is only going to grow. So recognize the opportunity, don't overcomplicate your life. That's what I would say. Now I'm holding even more Caspa. I don't know that I'm accumulating in more Caspa. I have a fuck ton of Caspa. And it has helped out the crypto account. I will tell you that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't the short-term time frames tell you when to get out? Aaron, you got to watch my video. I am surprised by your question. Your question tells me that maybe you're new, which if you are, welcome in. I'm glad to have you here. The other thing that could be implied by your comment is you're not paying attention. If you've been following me for a while, you're not paying attention to the published videos that I put out there. The very last published video I ever did, which was back in, we're going to change that soon. I'm going to be putting out a Caspa video. Which was back on March 22nd, if you go to my page. It is Bitcoin's peak alert, 6 simple signs to whatever the hell I have here. 6 simple signs to sell and secure profits. You know what's interesting is I think that's probably the most important video I've ever made. It does not have many views. It has 373 views. But I will tell you something that's interesting in relation to that. My Caspa video that on the thumbnail says 2 to 4, okay, and it's not going to be 2024. It looks like it's going to be 2025, but still, $2 to $4 Caspa got 4,300 views. So it's interesting. It's interesting what a thumbnail can do. But yes, I absolutely, by the way, still think Caspa is hitting $2 to $4. It's just like I was saying the other day. It's literally just math. I mean, it's just math. If you think this thing's going to maintain its relative strength, it's just literally math. Yeah, if the chart changes, we need to change our view, but nothing has changed with the chart. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, unless if something, Evan, I'll have something to share with you on that related to the XRP art comment. It's very interesting, the timing of your comment. I'll have something pretty soon to share on that. Curious the timing there, my friend. Unless something material develops tomorrow, I will not be live streaming tomorrow. If something material develops over the weekend, I will live stream Sunday, but those weekly closes just depend on how the market is looking. I am trying to get together a Caspa video, so we'll see how that pans out. I might have time to, do it this weekend. I'm doing a little bit of work on the side with a few things here with Caspa, so we'll see what I can get going on. But that's about all I had today. I just wanted to kind of focus mainly on Bitcoin, talk about the altcoins. But again, August is setting up to be a pivotal month, so appreciate you guys tuning in. Always appreciate your support. Love coming out here, and just looking forward to moving forward together during the bull market. It's going to be exciting times ahead. All right, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Take care of yourselves.